Welcome to the Expanding Viewpoints Heart Family Masters series. I'm Reverend Eva McGinnis, and I do the interviews with our Heart family members. Today we have the privilege of interviewing Dr. William Evans. He is a retired minister and a vital part of Oakbridge University. He's also the author of 2 metaphysical books. He's a counselor, and he has served as the past president of Oakbridge University, as well as a webmaster, a videographer, and technical consultant for the whole Oakbridge University community. Presently, he acts as an instructor for consciousness-raising classes within Oakbridge and offers his skills as a hypnotherapist to any in the North Olympic area of Washington State. He is also active and vital in the unity in the Olympics Church. Phil, thank you for being with us today and being willing to share your thoughts and feelings about Oakbridge University and your experience with Jeshua. And we're just really, really happy to have you be able to share this with our Heart family. So thank you. Please let us know a little bit about your background, because since you've come to Port Angeles, you kind of stay in the background. And we'd like to put you a little bit in the foreground to tell us about your special mission and the work that you've been doing over the years, which we greatly, greatly appreciate. So tell us a little bit about your spiritual journey and what has brought you to this place in your life.
Okay. I like to stay in the background. My spiritual journey began when I was in grade school. And I didn't know it at the time, though. Ran into a book, read a book that I was reading, in the 4th, 5th grade, I was reading high school material and beyond. And I read a book, Fine-Hold Garden, which talked about the nature spirits and how they helped to their garden and everything that they were doing. This was in one of the Norwegian countries. And I was just fascinated because, hey, they're real. I got someone who says they're real. So that opened up my mind to an unseen world. And as I grew older, I began to populate the unseen world with entities and the things that I knew that existed that we could not see. And that included angels and other entities like that. And so I was open to that matter. Of course, I went into college. First of all, majoring in math and physics. And after the freshman year, I decided to do something else. And I changed my major to epistemology, which is the study of knowledge. So I could take any class in the university as long as it had something to do with knowledge. So I chose my own curriculum. But I ended up in the senior year changing my major again to philosophy because I had enough philosophy classes to graduate because I knew I was going into ministry by that time. And I went to 4 years of ministry and seminary and graduated with a doctor's degree in ministry, a D.MIN. That's a demon. Which I found out later in my life. That's how you pronounce it, a demon. But have a demon degree. Anyway, I kept up my interest in the unseen world and kept adding things to it. Even in my ministry, I took my unseen world and said, okay, whatever's in ministry, if it doesn't fit in my unseen world, then I throw it out. I don't want it. And I did some things, of course, meditation, learned how to meditate. and had interesting experiences when I began to meditate. I went downstairs in our house, tri-level, and I went downstairs and I was meditating at 2 o'clock in the morning. And after a while, my wife, Kathy, came down and said, "What is that noise?" And I said, "What noise?" She says, "It sounds like someone's got rocks in a can and they're twirling it around." I said, "Oh, I guess I'm trying to meditate. So I guess it's just grinding gears, trying to get started." And and it wasn't just Kathy. We had a guest at that time too, and she said she heard them that night too. So it was my meditation attempts at first, kind of grinding my gears, trying to get it going. And she said after a while, it got higher and higher pitched till it went out of where you couldn't hear it anymore.
Oh, that's quite an experience.
Yeah. So I knew about, things that were not seen in the physical world that existed, even sounds. I knew that they could be generated from psychic abilities. So that went on, and I also, in reading in ministry, I came across a website in which a person who was in my denomination wrote stories about how he would use hypnotherapy to release spirits that were attached to individuals. And I said, "Oh, wow, I got to do that." So I studied and I took the courses on hypnotherapy and Reiki. And then I went into, I started doing some of the hypnotherapy, and I didn't do the stop smoking and lose weight thing. I did mostly the releasing of spirits, attached spirits, and other oddities like that. So I kept up the interest in that, and finally I ended up going to a lady who channels. A group of us went, and she channels a lot of different entities, from ETs to light beings to spirits, but she was very spiritual herself, and so she kept it on a high frequency, and we were able to, whoever came to talk through her was only allowed to come if it was in the will of the Creator. And that was, what we always kept, that idea. And we talked to, like some of the spirits. One was the Apostle Matthew, had been an Apostle Matthew. Another had been a thief on the cross with Jesus. And they gave, told about those experiences, what they had learned. We learned a little bit about the Bible there. And we had, lots of other individuals who came through her, but they were only allowed to. So if they were in the will of the Creator. And then after she passed, then I just kind of kept it up a little bit here and there. And then I came across on the internet this recording of a channeling of Jeshua from Judith Coates in Oakbridge. And I ordered the little cassette tapes, several of those, got those, and listened to them many times. So I knew about Oakbridge, and I just thought, wow, that's great. And finally, my wife and I came up here, and we went on the cruise to Alaska with the Oakbridge group. I'd been up here 1 year earlier, a couple of years earlier on our advance. And then when they had the cruise, I said, "Let's go." And I convinced my wife to take the cruise. Wasn't hard to convince her. And we came up and we went on the cruise and got to go around and see Seattle and this area around here. And we decided we really liked it. So when it came time for my wife to retire, she said, let's retire and move up there, which I'd wanted all along. So I just said, yes. And we came up, and of course, Eva, you know, because we spent some time with you and Roger, and with just being up here and seeing the area, going around. So we ended up moving up here for retirement to help Oakbridge, because I felt that what Judy was doing was indeed well worthwhile, to have the channelings of Jeshua, Jesus, and to get more information and to learn what's a lot about who we are and what we're doing, what we can do. So, I came up here mainly to assist with Oakbridge and to do what I could. And it turned out that I was doing a whole lot when I got up here.
Yes, you have. And I wanted to mention that as you told your story, that you are an ordained minister and retired, but still active with the Unity Church, and occasionally stepping in to do the messages there. And that you are also an author of 2 metaphysical books, which I think were good preparation for the entrance of Jeshua in your life through Judith. Could you tell a little bit about the process and what led you to writing your books, especially the Jeshua, the Advent, because that's a really powerful book.
The first book I wrote, Rainbow Promise, but that was a study on the Book of Revelation, and it turned out to be a very positive book. Revelation's a very positive book, a very positive outlook to it. And when I did that, that was essentially channeled material. I didn't know it till I finished it, but I'd sit down with a yellow legal pad, and I would get the chapter, and I'd look at the chapter and say, okay, what's going to happen next? And I start writing. And I didn't know what it was going to be until I finished writing, and I could see that, and I got it all done like that. And it was interesting because I did not know it's channeled. I just figured, okay, I'm cool doing automatic writing or whatever. But it was channeled from my higher self, and in the process, I learned to access the higher self, just like you would talk to a friend. So, this helped in all that I was doing. The other book, which you mentioned also, is Jeshua, the Advent. This is also a channeled book, and it deals with the essentially from 31 BC, our time, the beginnings of the birth of Christ. And I take it from the Essene point of view, because they were a group of Essenes that lived at that time. Judith was in the Essenes, and she's in the book. Judy is her name, both times. So it deals with the people getting ready, preparing for the coming of the Messiah. And I know when Judith read the book, she says it was good. It was true. Not necessarily all the details in it, of course, but the whole concept was. And I have a couple other books on it. It's just about the birth of Christ, and up to the birth. And the second one will be about travels in Egypt when they were down there, coming back home to Nazareth, and everything that they experienced in that time, along with at least a mention that They'd gone to England or Britain or Britannia. So it was yeah, it's all there, and even more coming after that. If I could ever sit down and do it.
Well, all your books are very powerful, and I'm glad you taught the class on the Revelations for Oakbridge, and looking forward to the continuing in the Jeshua series that you're writing. It the next one, I had the privilege of reading the previews,
Draft of yeah.
yeah, the draft, and it's very powerful as well. So I'm hoping that you can get it published as well, because this is the continuing story. So thank you for doing that, and thank you for all the work that you've been doing for Oakbridge University, both as president, and all your work on the website, creating that for us, and doing all the videography for many of Judith's channelings over the last couple of years, and teaching classes too. So um, if you want to say anything about the classes that you'd like to be teaching, I know some are on raising consciousness and the hypnotherapy. They're fascinating, and you are an excellent teacher. So if you want to say anything about that, I'd appreciate that.
They will not really begin until fall, but I will be teaching a class in, of course, beginning intuition and deepening intuition, those two, and also one on the raising our frequency and exploring the whole idea of consciousness. So that and self-hypnosis. I'll be teaching on self-hypnosis and offering to those in this area a past life regression, if that's where they go.
All right, sign me up for that one. Well, anything else that you want to say about your connection or your work with Judith and with the Jeshua teachings that you've experienced in the last couple of years, since you've delved into them really deeply? What has been really significant for you that you could share with us?
Well, getting to know Judy has been a joy, and essentially, I would go over to Judy's house. It got to be once a week there the last year or two, and we would do things. I would help her out whatever way I could, whether it be with getting the books shipped out or what have you. But mainly in the past few years, it has been just being there for Judy if she needed to talk, and I'd listen. So that's why this interview to me is kind of awkward, because I'm better at listening than I am at talking. Believe it or not. So
I can believe that.
That's why I like to be in the background. As a minister, I learned how to listen. I don't always abide by it, but I learned how. I'm human too.
One of the biggest gifts we can give to each other is to truly listen to each other from the heart. And I think that's something that Jeshua teaches us as well, is the gift that we can give in witnessing and being there for each other in this journey. So is there anything else that you would like to share also about your upcoming talk in, I guess in a little bit, about the diving deeper quote that you chose for.
Yeah, the topic is it's called the divine balance. And to be honest, I started out thinking about doing something on the divine feminine to get a masculine approach toward the divine feminine. But the more that I got into it, I realized I don't want to emphasize feminine or masculine. I want to find a balance between the two, and to realize that that is really the secret to being truly human, and to know the balance between the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And then to what can we do to reach that balance? I don't know whether it's to do or as much as it is how do we do it? How are we in balance? It's kind of difficult to put in words, but I'm interested in the balance between the masculine and feminine. Right now in our society, it seems like the masculine, not the divine masculine, but the masculine is really like an animal that's trapped. It's kind of striking out any way it can, and we need to find a better balance of the feminine energy that is able to not only nurture, but also to understand and to have the insights, the intuitive insights to go along with the masculine activity that takes those insights and then can bring them into fruition, bring them about, and make them so that they bear fruit.
I agree that we need that balance in order to be whole. And I find it very interesting that you are teaching intuition, which is oftentimes thought of as more feminine rather than masculine, but you bring such an insight and information about it that I think that alone, if more men would be willing to take that course and experience that themselves, that there would be a better balance, and to trust themselves as being intuitive beings as well. And that's what I think is one of your gifts, is to be able to bring that forward and to be a reflection of that in the world. So thank you for doing that. That's very important information and very important skill in the balancing of male and female. And your quote that you chose from Jeshua's messages is very apropos. Part of it says, "It matters not what design pattern you have to express with in this lifetime, for truly you have chosen to be male and female in other lifetimes, to express for the fun of experiencing how that would feel to be." So, if more people understood that they have both and that they have been both, I think we would not be having the divides that we have in society and even within ourselves, about what the divine really is, which is the blending of the two. So anyway, thank you for bringing that into the world. And we are very fortunate to be able to have that right here in the North Olympic Peninsula. But since those classes are also going to be taught on Zoom, we can include a whole lot of other people. So thank you. Anything else that you want to say about your experiences with the Jeshua material, the experience with our Oakbridge community, and the Heart family worldwide?
Well, with the Jeshua material, whenever I read it, there's always something new in it, no matter how many times I've gone over it. And I think that everybody that worldwide that Oakbridge reaches out to, that they find something in that material that has meaning to them and helps them in their life. I noticed this morning that we had another new member in the Heart family from Singapore. So it's reaching out over all the world. And it may not be, a great big number of people, but it matters not. So I think Jeshua himself started out with 12 men, and who knows how many other women and others that were around. But it's something that brings to our lives the balance that we really need, whether it be divine feminine or divine masculine or just divine. And to help us live the life that we have chosen here for this life, which will help us even more in whatever we choose after this. So it's just a matter of enjoying it, having fun.
And I have the teachings of Jeshua, the messages he's given us over the years, affected how you're feeling about these times that we are going through, which others can perceive as being chaos or unwanted or non-preferred. How does that relate to your heart and how you're living your life? Because you are a great light for us here in our community, and through you, so many people have been able to access Jeshua's materials.
You make me think I got a big light bulb up here or something. What's going on in the world right now is indeed chaotic. It is what we have asked for, because we ask for a change. We want it to change. And it's just like, sometimes to clean up a house or a room, you've got to really, to do deep cleaning, you really got to get everything out and just throw it in the floor and sort through it and get rid of what you don't need, and then put everything back that you want to keep. And I think that's what's going on right now. And it's not that it's bad, it's just that it's chaotic and it's disruptive to our lives. But we're not here to necessarily live a life with no problems, with no troubles, with no challenges, because it is the challenges that truly bring us about the time of growth. And we can choose what we really, what path we really want to go on. And that's what's happening now. We are divisive. We are divided. That's true, but it's not just black and white. There's black and white, and there's green, and there's yellow, and there's all kinds of different colors, or if you want to put it that way, of different groups that feel like they're separate from each other. But that's okay, because it's forcing us to choose what is most important to us. And the main idea is to know that no matter what's going on in your life, that you just got to hang in there and do what you can, be the person that you know you are, and keep on growing. So, laugh a lot, learn a lot, as much as you can, and love as many as you can, and as much as you can. And that's the 3 L's that make up life.
I think you summed it up there beautifully. Love as much as you can, because we are living in the heart of love, God's love all the time.
Love, laugh, and learn.
Yeah, the 3 L's. I think you got a bumper sticker there.
Probably.
Well,
I came up with that years and years ago, and I said, that makes sense to me. I like that, so I kept it.
That's for sure. And you are indeed a scholar that helps us really feel and enjoy and embody the teachings of Jeshua, especially on the ones on non-separation, because he tells us over and over again there is no separation. So that's part of why we want to get this message out to everybody, because when you know that there's no separation and you're looking at yourself and everyone you see, then we could have a world of peace.
Yeah, I see those who are in essence not as fortunate as I am, and I look at them and I say, thank you for experiencing what you're going through, so that this body doesn't have to.
Right. And as Joshua said, we probably have done it all already. We've probably been there. That's why we can have that compassion for whoever that we see in front of us. So thank you so very much for being part of this conversation and being part of Oakbridge University and all that you've contributed to Judy's life and to all the rest of the Hart family, the service that you've been doing, and look forward to your teaching. And those classes will be very useful for a lot of people and bring them back to their Christ self. So thank you so much. Thank you for listening to our Expanding Viewpoints Hart Family Masters series with our Reverend William Evans. We appreciate your attention, and if you find that this has touched your heart, or you would like to examine more of Jeshua's teachings, please go to our website, oakbridgeuniversity.org. And for this YouTube channel, please like us, subscribe, and if your heart leads you to, please donate so we can keep on sending these wonderful messages out into the world. Thank you, and God bless you.